In this video, I'm going to show how to use datasets that were produced by the humanitarian OpenStreetMap team's OSM export tool and provided to HDX. To begin, we'll search for data from Senegal. There are 5 thematic exports from OpenStreetMap that we've provided: administrative boundaries, points of interest, waterways, roads, and buildings. We'll start with points of interest. This shows data from the export overlaid on a map for context. It's also clickable, so we can click on any of the shapes in here and find out more about them. In this case, I've clicked on a hospital called Ol Kur Katim Clinic, and we've got the OSM ID. So we can see here that it has 3 tags from OpenStreetMap: amenity, name, and OSM ID. This dataset includes OpenStreetMap features matching the amenity tag, the man-made tag, the shop tag, and the tourism tag. The way that this is represented is a SQL where clause. So amenity is not null means that the amenity tag is present and includes anything. Likewise for man-made, shop, or tourism. The attributes that we're exposing from OpenStreetMap are name, amenity, man-made, shop, tourism, opening hours, beds, rooms, the house number, the street name, and the city. Each of these are clickable, so if we want to find out more about the man-made tag, we can click that and we'll be sent to the OpenStreetMap wiki. Features with the man-made tag are man-made structures or artificial structures that are present in the landscape. And if we scroll down, we can see examples of what these would be: mines, beacons, breakwaters, bridges, bunkers, silos, etc. We can do the same thing for any of the other tags. The next section is the Data and Resources section. This is where we can download individual data files. The first is a shapefile representation containing points that are points of interest. The second is also a shapefile, however it's polygons that are points of interest. So these would be hospitals that have been mapped as polygons. The third dataset is a geopackage, which contains both layers within it. I'd like to show you the metadata. In this case, the source of this data is OpenStreetMap, so it's copyright OpenStreetMap contributors. The contributor is the humanitarian OpenStreetMap team. You can click that link to see more datasets that have been provided. The dataset was produced on May 11th, which is today. It's expected to update never because I did a one-off export to produce this. Some datasets may be available on a monthly basis, a weekly basis, or even a daily basis. It covers the country of Senegal. It's public. The license is the Open Database license, which is the license that covers all data from OpenStreetMap. And the methodology is that it's volunteered geographic information, again, applying to OpenStreetMap. We've also included some caveats on some of the datasets, administrative boundaries, for example. Finally, we include some tags so that these can be searched across HDX more effectively. All datasets that come from the export tool will have the OSM tag present. Point of interest datasets will have POI. In addition to the data and resources and metadata sections, there's an activity listing on the left-hand side. We can see that the hotbot, which is the export tool, created the dataset about an hour ago. HDX's geodata preview bot updated the dataset, which provided the geo preview we previously looked at. That will be further updated as each of these datasets are updated by the export tool. This is the admin boundaries dataset. It includes data where boundary equals administrative or the admin level tag is present. The name, boundary, admin level, and place tags are included in this dataset. This is the buildings dataset for Senegal. It includes all features where building is present in the tags. It includes name, building, building levels, building materials, the house number, the street, the city, and the value of the office tag. This is the roads layer. It includes all data from OpenStreetMap where the highway tag is present. It includes name, the value of the highway tag, surface, smoothness, width, lanes, one-way, bridge, and layer. This is the waterways dataset from OpenStreetMap. It includes features where waterway is present, water is present, or the natural tag is one of water, wetland, or bay. It includes the name, waterway, covered, width, depth, layer, blockage, tunnel, natural, and water tags. I've created a project to highlight each of the OpenStreetMap datasets available for Senegal. We'll begin with the clipping boundary. This is included in each of the datasets as boundary.geojson. It represents the data that's used to clip data from OpenStreetMap. It's typically the administrative boundary for the country, buffered slightly to account for features that are just outside the edge, or where the administrative boundary doesn't agree with what's in OpenStreetMap. We also include a polygonal administrative boundary layer, which I've used here to produce labels. There are two layers for points of interest, one for polygons and one for points. At this scale, we'll show the polygons. These are typically things like parks. When we zoom in, we'll turn on the POI point layer. We include both polygons and lines for waterways within the country. You can see here that there's what's likely a river import occurring in the eastern part of the country. We also include road polygons, none of which are visible at this scale, and road lines. These include highways as well as streets and unclassified roads within the area. When we zoom in, we'll be able to see them some more. We also include a buildings layer, but that will be visible once we zoom in. I'm going to zoom in on Dakar, which has been well mapped. I've zoomed in on a part of Dakar which has been well mapped, and I've turned on the POIs and buildings layer. Buildings are visible as gray blocks here. POIs are marked with pluses and include the name of the features that are there. Within the gallery section, we have a link to OSM Analytics. I'm going to click that. In this case, we've been taken to the humanitarian OpenStreetMap team's OpenStreetMap Analytics tool. It only covers buildings and roads at the moment, so we've landed on the buildings view. We can zoom in and look at particular parts of the country or change the outline area, but for the purposes of this demo, we're just going to use the bounding box that covers Senegal as a whole. In the lower left, we can see the map legend, which shows the density of buildings available throughout the country. Unsurprisingly, these are centered on more urban areas. On the bottom of the screen, we can see a histogram of edits over time, so that we can see that buildings were started to be mapped in late 2012, early 2013, with a bit of a gap and then a spike in late 2014, and then more ongoing activity in late 2015 throughout 2016. By zooming in on the map and changing the outline area, the histogram will be updated, so we'll see data about the particular area that's seen there. We can also change this to look at roads. Similar to buildings, we can see the density of roads within the country, and we can also see the editing behavior. Finally, I'd like to show you how to contact the contributors. That would be members of the humanitarian OpenStreetMap team that manage this tool, as well as staff members on the HDX team. To do that, you'll need to be logged in. When you're logged in, you can click Contact the Contributor, and you'll be taken to a form where you can provide information that is passed on to the maintainers of this dataset. Keep an eye out for more OpenStreetMap datasets on HDX, and let us know if there are things that you'd like to see.